Hey guys, how are you? Come on in. Let me know where you're watching from. And let me just get my screen up. Hi, Bruno. How's the boy? Hi. Yes. Okay, Mama's gonna go to work. I gotta go to work. Go on. Go lay down. Oh, taking out every piece of equipment we have, please. All right. Today has blown by. Ay, vey. Sorry, I just gotta get my screen up. I am looking at what you're looking at. I love having to watch a commercial to watch myself. Boy, how many baby blue? Hey Jackie, good, how are you? Making me think with you. I'm like, what does that stand for? But I should be able to figure out how are you. I can handle that. Let's see. Oh, I'm so glad you like the wreath, Diane. I really felt like I was going to have everything really well timed out today until I didn't. So I just have to get something ready because I have my little baby glue pot. But this little baby glue pot, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. He is good for like smaller projects. I mean, you can use them if like not everybody wants to use the full size glue pot because they're just not sure about it. Sure bonder, get it? Dad joke. Yeah, not everybody knows if they really want to use the full size one. So I know my girl Valerie, she has like an OG of this baby glue pot. Like I think he was all black. But yeah, like isn't this guy so cute? And he doesn't have like a temperature control, but he does have like the fan underneath, and he hasn't smoked to my knowledge. Not allowed, no smoking zone. So I just used him for a wreath I made because there was very little gluing involved. However, for this, we're probably going to be gluing a lot. So, yes, I have been geeking out with all of my SureBonder products, including this motorized glue gun. I'm going to turn him on. And then this is SureBonder's newest glue gun. And once he charges for an hour, once he fully charges, he will work for an entire hour. Let's make sure I have him on. So like now I'm on team glue rope because then you're not going through all of your glue sticks. Like when I do workshops and I glue everyone's stuff together, it is such a pain to have to like keep swapping out all the glue sticks. So, oh, I'm glad, Jackie. Thank you. I'm telling you, the days are going by so quick. So quickly, I tell you. But I'm really excited to be finally doing this kit because I've been waiting as patiently as I can. This kit only has one left, and I was kind of surprised just given the season. I didn't think that this would be the one to sell so quickly, but it is. So there's one left, and I had a thought that there's two different ways to do this kit. One would be to have it for like year-round use, but then the other one that I'm toying with, I don't know that I'll do it because it wouldn't be the kit, but you could use like some icy or flocked pieces and make this kind of like an icy winter wonderland design. And even, sorry, there's like so much glitter here. I've been like, I'm just breathing it in at this point. Am I missing a berry? No. Or you could even not glue in like the icy pieces and kind of keep it like that. I don't know. I think there's like a couple different ways to spin this, but we are going to be starting with this glass silver compote. And I love it. It's super antique-y looking. You know, when it comes to TMI Gifts, it's a family-owned business, just like Surebonder. And so when you like ask for something or you say, hey, you know, like looking for this, they actually are listening and will find it for you. Like they'll do their best to get you whatever you need. I am missing a berry. Hold on one second, because there are 3 berries in that kit. I didn't grab them. Bruno, coming in hot. Coming in hot, my friend. Hi, Bruno. And what about Charlie? Okay. Ah! Oh my God, that's the biggest friggin' spider. Oh, hold on, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna die. I wanna die. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was freaking terrifying. Oh. Okay. You probably heard that. There's just the biggest spider on the floor, like this big. And it just, I'm really afraid of spiders, but I get really freaked out that they are like somewhere in here and then they just pop up whenever they want to. And just like, he's just in the middle, and now he's like dead on the floor. I'm sorry. I would control myself if I could. I am so afraid of spiders. It's just, it's unreal. Okay, please let me just get, let me get my act together. Let me take a deep breath because I am really freaked out. Okay. Anyways, guys, was that not soothing? I'm not okay, and neither is that spider. I like just took a dustpan and just like smushed him, and I can still see him. He was like this big. I'm afraid of the little ones, like the little ones that jump. I don't know where that guy came from, but he's like been around a while. He is not a new spider, which really, really freaks me out, because I think now that it's getting cold, like my workshop is in my basement and it has a walkout door, so I feel like when I let the dogs in and out, it's basically like saying, hey spiders, want to party? Gross. So I'm so sorry. I did not want to scream. And Bruno's useless. He's like, just walks by, doesn't care. How protective are shepherds, really? Not much. Let's see. Okay, because thank you, Jackie, because it is just something, like when you're really afraid of something, even if it's not like rational, I do think that like I could envision a ginormous spider, like bigger than me, and it just scares me. I've always been really afraid. I love animals. I will pick up wildlife. In my trunk, I have stuff. I will pick up like a turtle. I will pick up anything injured. I have a kit in the back of my car. I'm not afraid of nature. I am very afraid of spiders, except for daddy longlegs, because I know they're just kind of like, doing their thing. Diane, well, I'm glad you didn't pee your pants, but if you did, at least you're home. Like, no, who's gonna judge you? Exactly. Bruno should have eaten it. He did not even care. Because, I mean, that carcass is still there. Anywho, spiders, oh, I don't know what palmetto bugs are. And oh my God, Steve's outside. I have to get him in. Oh, another opportunity for a spider to come in. This is the second time I've now been interrupted. All right, Steve started doing this new thing where he likes to hang back, and so he's outside and I don't know it. Because everybody else, they've all eaten, they're all kind of settled. But yeah, I tried to, oh, no roaches? No, Jackie. Do they go in your house? Like, or are they just outside? Like now I've got the legit heebie-jeebies. Stevie, that spider was as big as you are. Yeah. Yeah, he was your size. And you love me, but you won't help me either, because if you cared, you would go eat it. Eat what's left of them. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, they go in your house. Ugh. When I was at TMI Gifts, I thought, like, something buzzed by me, and I looked, and it was kind of like hummingbird-ish size, but it certainly wasn't a hummingbird. And it turned out it was a cicada, which I only saw one, which, considering, like, the fact that, you know, there's a lot of open space, I mean, I could envision a lot of things going in a warehouse, but there really wasn't. That was the only thing I saw. But, okay, so first off, this comes with a plastic liner. And you definitely can leave it in. I kind of feel like that's more for live florals and Oasis. I'm going to take it out. I don't know. I don't know that I always have reasons for why I do things, but when I am gluing foam into metal containers, okay, I like to put something down on them. So first off, I'm going to just measure. This tool, even though it seems like obscenely like aggressive, it is really great for cutting up foam. And it can cut your finger. I thought it was dull enough. However, I found out the hard way recently that no, it will cut a girl. So you should be careful with it. I wasn't being as careful as I should have. So I'm gonna have my foam. I'm using dry floral foam. You don't want to use Oasis because Oasis, like the stuff you use for real flower, like real flowers, it's gonna crumble. You can use styrofoam. There's a lot of people in the biz that like the hard styrofoam. I don't, just because I feel like it's kind of too tough to work with. But it's, again, it's like whatever you're comfortable working with. If it works, it works. Like, crafty people, we have a million different ways, like, a million different roads to get to the same place. So if it works for you, then have at it. Have at it. Oh my, Kelly, are you mad at me? Is that why you're saying this? Kelly's afraid to open packages from the southern shops because of mice, lizards, and spiders. So there's, I hope, has that happened to you? Because I don't even know what I would do. And would they arrive? I would assume they'd arrive dead, right? I mean, ugh. Yeah, we have a grocery store chain near here, and every once in a while, like something like maybe it's last year, there was like a 2-foot poisonous snake in with the bananas or grapes. And I think it was grapes, but like a tarantula has come in with bananas, and like, you think that there's dangerous jobs in the world, but it shouldn't be the produce department at Market Basket. But yeah, I mean, luckily the person working that found it, like, was familiar with snakes and knew how to handle it. But I would be like, no, I'm going on short-term disability because I have PTSD, like, legit. If I reached my hand in to fruit and there was a 2-foot long poisonous snake from, I don't even know where. It's not from this country. All right, so I'm putting some glue in here. So this is again, Sure Bonder's new one. It is called Continuous Charging, because once it is fully charged, it's going to go for an hour. Okay, I like to put some cloth down, and I know this is a little bit random. However, when it comes to gluing into metal, there's a part of me that just feels that if a container really got jolted in shipping, that this, like, the block could come loose. But I feel like if you are gluing to fabric and then fabric to the block, then you're going to be in good shape. Like, I don't think it's going to come off. Let's try this guy. I just have way too much fun right now with Sure Bonder stuff. So this is their motorized glue gun. Okay, he does stay plugged in, but he is also continuous. And after half an hour, he shuts himself off. So it's good for safety. But he also has like a smaller nozzle. So I would say this isn't really for bigger projects. This is more like, say you were creating like an embellishment, or, you know, if you're using ornaments and you want to make sure that the tops don't come off, something like that. Like, use it for those. Okay, there's a place. Well, Kelly, you should message me if you think I use that place, because I don't know. I was just like, how do things get past customs? How do, like, live creatures get past customs? Because I have a friend, a social media friend, and I absolutely love him, Coco DeVille, and he is in Australia, and he's really known for, he's incredibly talented and funny. He does all of the spoofs as Kim Kardashian. He does them for a lot of people, but Kim Kardashian's like the one he started with, I think. And he has a beard, so like he's like super handsome, but like he looks exactly like her, his mannerisms and everything, but he's got a beard, and he imitates her, like, or lip syncs like to perfection. Yes, there is only one of these kits left. Kim, I don't know that I want you to have it. I'll tell you why. Because you outswagged me with my swag kit. I don't mean to point my little thing at you. Kim's twist on my swag was so much better. I was just like, dang, like I wish I saw yours first. I would have done mine differently. I loved it. And Kim puts a twist on, I'm assuming it's all of them. Because I have to see what the original looked like, but I really like what you did with Misty's kit, and then you've done a couple of Misty's kits, but I don't know what like the original looked like, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but I love that you take something and you make it your own. All right, so for this kit, so yeah, don't buy it, Kim. Okay, go shopping, use my code CAR20, but don't buy the kit. I don't want to see you outdo me again. I'm just kidding. All right, so with this kit, and I forget how much this kit Miss Kim does have it going on. I don't know. I have the prices. I don't know if somebody from Tiffany, is it you on for TMI? If you could tell me what the price is, because I feel like the majority of the kits that I just put out, they were under $100, but I don't want to lie. Not about that, anyways. It's true, Kim. It's true. So with this kit, you get this awesome container. This container alone is it's around 20 bucks. Okay, great compote in general. And, you know, sometimes when you take a kit, you don't actually have to use all the elements together. Sometimes it's just a great deal getting everything bundled, and you can use it however you want. But it comes with the compote. Tiff, I wish I had put foam in because you guys sell it. I didn't think to do that. But so you need your own foam. But we have this. Ooh, it would help if I had had my paperwork. I just had it. So yes, we have this filler bush. We have these beautiful blue roses, and I love these types of bushes because not only do they have your blooms on them, but then they have all of those like sweet little accents that kind of take something from looking manufactured to more you know, like handcrafted. There's just more detail in it. So it's got like little fern pieces. It's got little pieces of eucalyptus. Okay. Then we have $100 before the discount. So it's 80. 80 and free shipping if you order the kit on its own. Yeah, see, I was like, I don't know where that packet went, Tiffany. I have it because I actually did the math for once, and they were all very reasonably priced, I thought. If I may say so myself, for the kits I curated. All right, so it comes with that. 4 pieces of lamb's ear. And lamb's ear can be pricey, and also, like, this stuff isn't coming off. There's some really janky lamb's ear out there where it's like you're breathing it in, there's dust everywhere. I'm just not feeling that vibe. These individual pieces are very nice. They are from Essentials, which I keep seeing this brand with TMI Gifts, and I really like it. I think it's very comparable to the I don't want to say it back already. David Christopher. Yes, David Christopher. Because like the swag, I bought swags and I thought they were David Christopher, but they weren't. They were Essential, and they were very, very much comparable. Beautiful. Okay, then we're going to use, looking for spiders, just because I'm creeped out. Then we're going to use these chartreuse colored snowball hydrangea. And then we're going to use these berries. And I'm using these berries in another kit. Okay, I am a self-proclaimed berry snob. It is really hard to find good berries, especially if you're doing like local craft stores. You know, they might look cute, but they're not. Like, these are hard. They have a coating on them. You know, when you see those ones that look kind of like little grape bunches, there's nothing protecting them. So as soon as they get wet, they get like too much sun exposure. Even if you try to put UV spray on them, it's all gonna just start to like eat away at it right away. The kits are, yes, so let's see. Kim is saying the kits are very reasonable, plus you have product left over. Yes, a lot of the time, you know, when the designers are making them, they wanna make sure you're not short on things. So we might have a little extra, but it's still like stuff you're gonna use. It's never like an obscene amount of extra that you're being oversold, but there could be like a little extra greenery or something like that. All right, so we are gonna start with our lamb's ear. Bernie, you don't even know what you missed. I feel like out of all the dogs, maybe Bernie would have helped. And like, I so tried to raise my daughter to not be afraid of spiders because I wanted to have like a little tiny person that would go and kill them for me. But because I react the way I do, she grew up terrified of them too, and will FaceTime me if she has one in her apartment. All right, so we are going to start with setting our parameters using our lamb's ear. And I love this arrangement. Like, there's not a ton of materials, and like the workshop I'm doing right now locally, the in-person one, it's simple in the sense that, you know, there's one floral bush, there's a couple of picks with like different types of fruit on it. Like, there's not a whole lot to it, but it goes a long way, and I think that this kit is going to be something very similar to that. Let's get this out of the way. My cup from Lori. Yes, yes. I love it. All right. So I am going to be gluing as I go. If I was making something for my own house, I typically do not glue. And the reason why is just because I like to change everything up for the season, and I don't want to be married to anything. So if you're not shipping it, if it's just going to be, you know, in your own home, in your living room or something like that, you don't need to worry about how secure it is. It's going to be fine. So I am going to put one in, going to one side. I'm going to give it a little bend. Top. Like so. And let me grab my Lazy Susan. She gets so offended, but I'm like, that's your name, girl. designing on a Lazy Susan, it just makes it easier because you can just keep spinning and you make sure that you're kind of covering all of your angles. So I'm just dipping as I go. Do the same thing over here. And then repeat. Hey, Verlene, how are you? Yeah, I would definitely say if you're going to get a Lazy Susan, get one that's nice and lightweight. I had one. She's so pretty. She's over there, but it's like she knows she's pretty. She doesn't work very hard. She's like a marble, and so she does not spin easily. So don't think because it's light, it's cheap. It's actually going to work a lot better for you. Like I got this one at HomeSense. I mean, it's pretty. But yes, lightweight is going to be the most effective type of Lazy Susan. All right, now we're gonna go in with our rose bush. So I'm just gonna trim these. Yeah, and if you're on here and you have this kit, let me know. Someone had emailed me. I pray to God I emailed her back because she was looking to do, she had the kit and was looking to do it. And then we're going to decide what we're going to do next because we have another winter swag. I believe it's the chocolate mousse. I gave Tiffany the biz about the, what was it? Holiday Splendor Cypress swag. Say that 3 times fast. But I was only kidding, Tiffany. I would not want to have to come up with all the names of all the kits. And you look beautiful today, by the way. Like, not that that's not a surprise, but I'm just saying you put yourself on camera and you were doing your own shopping and you look so beautiful. I was like, why aren't you on more often? Hello, Miss Renee. Ooh, Renee Bouquets. I love that. Yes, I do think this is going to be nice and soft and elegant. And then we will talk about some ways that we could use it differently if we wanted to make it like a wintry thing. So I'm going to put my first one in up top, and I might end up adjusting how long I left these lambs here. All right. And then I'm going to just start to go. I like to just start with, you have your top, and then I'm going to go to each of the 4 sides. And I'm going to give them a bend. So, like, this is the beauty of permanent botanicals. Like, we talk a lot about all the different benefits of having live florals, like the dopamine boost and all of that stuff. But permanent botanicals can have almost the same impact, except, I am going to trim these really quick. So if we're keeping score on real flowers versus permanent botanicals or artificial florals, okay? So as far as like looking at them goes, we can have the exact same response. And I have to learn how to put this guy on right. So yes, it lifts your mood, it raises your dopamine levels. Okay, we are missing the all-factor benefit, which is the smell. Not everybody likes the smell of florals, and I also have heard, I've had several people order artificial florals for sympathy arrangements, not only because, if somebody is grieving, they might not want to have all this stuff around, but also if you are surrounded by different florals that all have like different scents and you don't like that, it can be very overwhelming and it can be, kind of like off-putting. So when you gift artificial florals for sympathy arrangement, the nice thing is that they're gonna have it. They don't have to do any maintenance on it. Like I always thought dish gardens were nice, which is like giving somebody like, a bunch of plants, like all planted together. But now I'm like, that's maintenance. That's probably the last thing that somebody wants if they're going through something is to then have to take care of like keeping plants alive. So I think that there are many benefits to using artificial florals for sympathy arrangements. And then what we do beat out real flowers are that we can actually keep our flowers in their most perfect state, and they stay that way. So like we have a memory factor, you know, like all of these materials, they are made with, you know, certain mechanics so that they hold a specific way. They have your bloom and the like the most beautiful presentation that you could have, and that's never going to change. So real flowers, yes, they're beautiful. I get them from my own home. I think they're a treat. But if I want my house to always be ready for like somebody to just pop in, like my dining room especially, I always have an artificial arrangement there because that's not really a room I use, but it is also one, it's the first room you see when you walk in my house. It's just, in a lot of houses are like that. So it's kind of like a one and done, and your house is always guest ready. That's how I look at it. And then yes, if you have some live floral arrangements, that's a bonus. You know, Trader Joe's, obviously they have some like really, really cool stuff. I consider it more like a treat than a standard. And I just think that a lot of the time people can't even tell the difference between what's artificial and what is real, which shows a lot about the level of technology that has gone into florals. You know, we have UV spray. We're also seeing a lot of permanent botanicals that are coming in that already have UV protection. I don't know. It's not just like the Krylon spray. I don't know exactly what the process is for a company to say that this is a UV protected product. I'm sure it's much more in depth. I actually should look into that. Let's see. I'm just looking. Tiffany said I did you dirty with that one. It is funny because I think, what was it? When I was recording it at TMI Gifts, someone was recording me from the side. It might have been Jessica because I think I was doing it myself. But yeah, and I was like, sis, and I was like, darn it, Tiffany. But I can't help but love you. I could never actually give you a hard time. I don't think, anyways. But yes, you looked gorgeous today, and I know you're like, don't be the person behind the camera. Be both. Be both, Tiffany. Don't deny the people. Give us what we want. Let's see. And yes, Kim agrees as well. You need to be on camera more. And Kim, you made your mom's casket spray this year. All different shades of pinks and artificial florals. I'm so sorry about your mom. I do think it's like such a gift of love for you to be able to make that for her. I'm sure in some ways, well, I don't want to assume, but I could see in some ways it being really difficult to do, and then in some ways being like a very connecting thing to do for someone. And I bet it was just beautiful, Kim. I really, you put your heart in so much, so something like that, I just can't even imagine what you did. It's true, Tiffany. All true. My gosh, I think I might have offended Morgan at dinner. I'm like, I didn't even think Morgan was 20 years old. Dang, the jeans are just good out there. I don't know. You could use some of that out in New England. I just don't know. Because I was like, oh, I hope she didn't take this as an insult. But then I'm like, she's always going to look young. Like, she's always going to look young and beautiful. Like, it's quite the gift. All three of those girls, they all have that genetic makeup that they look very young in a good way, not like they don't look like teenagers, like they're dressed like teenagers. They're just beautiful. Oh, did she? Because I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Because I think at first I said like 18, and then I was like, no, like it's like 20s, I don't know. But I thought that about all of them. I mean, I was just like shocked. I don't know what's out in the water there, but Oh my gosh. And I saw that you guys had Victoria out today. I love her designs. Well, I don't know if it was today, maybe it was yesterday. But, you know, certain designers, there's something very signature about the work that they do. And like I've been following Victoria this year more. And TMI Gifts, you brought us together. There's such a level of sophistication in the work that she does. Like, I love it. It's very signature, you know, and it's great when you can kind of see something and you know who made it. I think that's just very special. So yeah, I really loved the swag she made. She is great with the swags. All right, so I'm going to take this filler bush and I am going to cut some of the longer pieces up in half. I looked up to see if maybe that spider took himself away, but no. Nope, nope, nope. And Tiffany, I don't know if you got to see the Merrymakers. I did end up posting a picture on my regular Facebook page, but oh my gosh, those hot pink poinsettias were like amazing. Amazing. And like pairing them with the Harlequin ribbon, it was gorgeous. Like they were even more beautiful in person, like than I could have imagined. So I was really happy. I really struggled with making that decision about going with. I had a great mint kit or mint selection, and then I saw that and I was like, oh, I just kind of want to take a walk on the wild side, you know. But I have some of the mint things from when I was out there, and I'm like, I still want to dabble in the mint, the mint Christmas look, because there's something very elegant. And those blue frosted berries, I have continued to hoard. Like, actually, those would look really pretty in this too. There is something wrong with me that when I love something too much, I just don't want to use it. And that's like so ass backwards. So I need to use it. I just want to make sure I use it on like the perfect thing. And I kind of feel like, because I bought there's a velvet ribbon that you guys have. It's like maybe 1.5 inches. It's the same color blue. It's got gold trim, and I believe it's gold foil backing, which I'm also barely using because I don't want to waste it. I feel like it would look great as the lantern swag. And lantern swags aren't really as popular here, you know, in New England, and I don't know why. Like, we have lanterns. Like, I mean, I have like a few different sets of lanterns from Pottery Barn, but people don't really do the swags. The height of florals and arrangements is something you struggle with. Yeah, there's so many different ways to design, and like one thing that I am not good at all, and it's very much in style, is when you create with negative space. So negative space, and I've done like one arrangement successfully, but it might be like something is high here, and then it has like a line, and it goes down here. So there's like empty space, negative space, and I just always fill it. And I like it. I mean, I like the way it looks, but I have also intentionally tried to do it with negative space, and it's just a struggle for me. I mean, I've done like in-person master classes with, you know, like, I was gonna say real florists, but florists that work with, you know, live flowers, and I'm like, it's a struggle for me, but it's just something you gotta like kind of keep at, because at the end, typically, and I don't know how, because I'm not really thinking about it, but things are almost like balanced. Like it's, you know, 20 inches high, 20 inches wide kind of thing. And I think that's just because that's just how I learned to do it. Like when I got to work at a florist, when I was a wee 19-year-old, I believe, that must just be the way they taught me. I don't know, and it just kind of stuck. I am almost thinking I should have done more of the lamb's ear now that I'm doing this. I feel like I'm gonna need something else to fill. That is so my bad. No, I don't want to use that. Hold on one sec. Oh, spider, hold on. Let me see. Need something blue-based. Alright, so I don't use a ton of blue-based greenery, which is unfortunate because I wish I had some lamb's ear on hand. But I will say, if you got the kit, I do think you need more filler. So I would say either more lamb's ear. I'm gonna just go with what I have here, which is some silver dollar eucalyptus. And then this is something from Hobby Lobby. We'll make it work. We'll make it work, but that's my bad. I feel like I usually kind of have enough, but I jinxed myself when I said it earlier, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Kim, that's a great example because you're such a great designer, but everybody has something that they struggle with, and it's so important that even though we're like, it's not our strong suit, that we stick with it. Like, swags are not my strong suit, but I am so, like, fixed that, or determined, that's the better way, determined that I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I watch people do it, and I'm like, okay, they make it look so easy. And then I go to do it, and I'm like, something went wrong. But it just means, like, we need to just keep at it. And I'm sure I know you will, because I just think you're a very creative and curious person, so I don't doubt it. All right, so again, these are not in the kit, the stuff I'm using right now. This is an additional blue-based filler, which it looks pretty. And even I can look on TMI Gifts website and see if there's something comparable, or at least just recommend, you know, another type of blue-based greenery. But, you know, we're talking about blue-based greenery. It's usually our eucalyptus, our lamb's ear. And then when we're talking about yellow-based greenery, because it's kind of like the two families, you're looking at more of like the vibrant, you know, like a fern or something like that. And on occasion, you see them mixed together, and that's totally fine. You know, like, when it comes to designing, there's no official rules. You do not have to, you know, follow if things are in odd numbers and they're in triangles and all that stuff. If it looks good to you, then that's literally the only thing that matters. And if you're doing something differently, then that might be like the thing that that customer is looking for. Like, yeah, they could have got, you know, something that follows all the rules in 10 different places, but you kind of caught their attention because you're not following the rules. There's something about the way you do it that appeals to them. Yeah, you are determined. I know. I could have guessed. And hey, when are you going on YouTube again? And are you going to say, like, subscribe, and share? And how will we know you're on YouTube? I just listed off a barrage of questions at you, Kim. I would like them all answered in the exact order that I made those questions. But yes, Kim has her own YouTube channel, and I have not seen it yet. I see her reels on social media, and I love them because she's always throwing things in the air, and then they come back like magic, looking all gorgeous. I want to see more. All right, we're using plant stakes. All right. So some of these just have weak stems, okay? So like there's really nothing to put into the foam. And if I had my steel pick machine, which I only think about when I'm doing these lives, I could just quickly put it on. I need to get the weight. I think for Christmas, someone should just take it out off my hands. I think it's like $5, but and you have to fill out a form. And I don't know what is wrong with me, but I've had my pick machine for well over a year. They're really expensive. I got mine on eBay for, I think, $80. And after the fact, I reread it and it did say like the weight's missing. And oh my gosh, if you've heard me talk either last night or today about these Facebook Marketplace things, somebody messaged me. It was like somebody named Ben, and I know, you know, just because it's got a man's name, it could be a woman. I have no idea. The profile picture was a dog, and it was like asking about my wedding dress, because I mean, I'm like fire sale here. Like I'm moving things on, major purging going on. If it's not nailed to the floor, it's going on Facebook Marketplace right now. And so Ben was like, does it come with accessories and shoes? And I'm like, no. And then they said, well, can you meet me somewhere? Hey, Amber. Well, thank you. Thank you. And then he said, he or she, whatever, said, can you meet me like 45 minutes away? And I'm like, no. I said, you can come here and pick it up. I can ship it to you and give you a shipping thing. And then they said, I don't have a car. And I said, okay, well, I can ship it to you. And their response was, and pardon my French, because it's not me, it's Ben. Well, I really would have liked to have picked it up. That blows. And I was like, sounds like it does. I didn't answer him. I just didn't say anything, because there is something about Facebook Marketplace that it's starting to bring out like the worst in me. I don't know. The expectations and the pressure, and you know, people who really want a lawn chair to the point that they're making up fake accounts. It's a part of humanity that I didn't know existed, and I need it to go away. But I also want to just move stuff along. So it's like, yeah, I don't know how to respond to that. And I honestly haven't even heard somebody use that term. Like, I was like, is there a middle school boy on the other end of this? Like, I did not know people even said that anymore. Like, I haven't heard that term in so long, let alone taking the time to type it up. Like, if you say something, you know, sometimes you speak before you think, but to actually type it and not like catch yourself, like that's not the right thing to say. No, that's not what happened. Ben stood by it. All right, well, I'm bummed that I didn't pull enough filler. However, I do dig this cascading thing that we have going on here. And I will look on TMI Gifts website to see if there is something comparable, just to offset what I didn't get enough of. Because you could also just do a bunch of, like, more of the lamb's ear, or you could double up on the filler bush. I think that alone would do it. Amber, you missed the spider gate. I totally lost my mind, and I knew you weren't on, because I knew you would have said, Cara, take a breath, because I just legit like screamed, and it was awful. Kim almost peed her pants. Okay, there was drama here. There was off-camera drama, and I was like, I know if Amber was here, she'd be like, you need to chill out and take a breath. So did you guys enjoy day 2 of the Merry Makers Summit? Because I did. I have a lot to go back and watch replays of. I like to listen to people while I'm designing, but I can't always like watch like I want to. And so I miss things, and then I know I gotta go back. I gotta go back. All right, so now we're gonna go in with the rest of our filler bush. You know what also would look nice here is TMI has gypsum. Okay, so gypsum is baby's breath, but the baby's breath they have is actually prettier than real baby's breath. And I know that sounds weird, but like I for decades like did not like baby's breath. Like if I got roses, I'd pull it out. If I ordered flowers, I'd just say like definitely no baby's breath. Like I don't like it. And somehow baby's breath made a comeback. I think it's because people are doing like those clouds of baby's breath. However, the gypsum that TMI Gifts has is so much nicer. It's got like almost like big buds on it. It's just super pretty. I know I've used it for a few kits just because it is like one of those things that I do favor. I know what the product is and I know how much I like it. But I'm like, I wish that's what real baby's breath look like. I know, Amber. You can only support the community so much, and you do such a great job. Plus, you're also putting out a lot of your own like amazing content. So it's like social media. It's a blessing and a curse. And I don't know, Tiffany, how you do it, because the amount of content that you took from that long weekend is incredible. Like, and it's still cranking out. Like, I'm gonna say that one, you're very creative, and you definitely work hard. And I also just think that you just have like such a knack for it, because the things that you do, they would take me hours to just do like one of them, let alone a whole bunch of them. Amber is amazing. She's amazing, and she also has a very dry sense of humor, and I appreciate that so much. Like, sometimes I forget that sarcasm doesn't translate with everybody, and it can seem kind of like rude. But I know Amber gets me, and I definitely get Amber. Tell me if I'm wrong, Amber, but I know I'm not. Let's see. Why did that just automatically say Allie and send? Are you using talk to text? Let me tell you, that gets me in so many positions where I feel like I'm apologizing. All right, so let's see what happens if we pull these apart. We don't have to. We could also just spread it. Okay, we won't do that. No, I'm not wrong. Oh, it's supposed to say Kim. And I wish that Siri, like when we're doing talk to text, like, does anybody else identify with the fact that she will not say wreaths? She will say wreaths. She will say, what are the other words? She says a lot of things. None of them are wreath. And why don't we have an emoji? We got a Christmas tree emoji. We got a plane tree emoji. Like, we need a wreath emoji. So if anybody knows anyone that works at Apple or wherever they make those things, to me, that should be a given. We should have that. Reef. Yes, reef is one as well. I'm like, and I even go out of my way to say like wreath, and it just won't have it. All right, so we've got 3 of these berry sprays, and so what I'm doing is I'm just gonna bend this down. So I wanna make sure that we have one going up, and then the other 2 are gonna be facing outward, so that we're gonna have all of our berries in nice prominent places, right? Because berries can add up. I don't know what the individual price on this was. Again, the one kit that's left after promo code CARA20, it is $80, and you always want to order kits separately, or you can order kits together, but you never want to like order a kit and then throw in like a roll of ribbon, because then it ends up adding shipping to everything. So you want to order kits as their own separate thing. Reef. Yeah, so on the Merry Makers thing, I was talking about my boss was on there, my former boss Sue, and she is like such a hot ticket. Like she's one of a kind, to say the very least. But she lives in the same town as Ashley, and like when I realized that, she was like, what? She's like, well, I want to go meet her. And so like she's like looking for Ashley in the grocery store, and I'm like, Ashley, if you see a super enthusiastic, beautiful woman coming at you, I'm like, it is my boss. I'm like, she's amazing. She has, even when we were working together and she was my boss, she would actually come to a workshop and like assist me. Like that's how awesome my coworkers are. I love them. I still see them. I mean, you know, when you talk about how it can be hard to kind of let people know what your dreams are. And then I had that crew, and they've been like nothing but supportive. I mean, it's awesome. I hope everybody has that experience. I just needed to get over that like fear, you know. Oh, I know, because she is not gonna know what hit her. Like Sue's motto is, "I would rather beg for forgiveness than ask permission." And oh gosh, does she live up to that? Like she knows every trick in the book. We went to, so she comes down to, or whatever it is, to Mohegan. And I don't know what kind of power she has there, but if we were on a machine and she liked the machine, like the slot machine, she liked the machine, but it wasn't doing well. And so like she hit a button, I don't know what she hit, but all of a sudden like one of their techs came over and she's like, yeah, we're going to be going to lunch, so if you can just shut this machine down. And I'm like, they shut the machine down. Like, I did not know you could do that. But I think that, like, when you get to a certain status or whatever there, you can do all sorts of things. So, like, she has me and another one of my friends that we all work together. Like, like, our hotel is covered by her, our meals, like, everything. Like, this is phenomenal. And so I went to try and apply her gambling knowledge, her slot machine knowledge, at a new casino in this area. But the casino is like, it's just gross, and I didn't win. I'm like, I need to get back near her because she is good luck. And if she wins and she's near you, she insists that she give you money. Like you cannot refuse. I have tried many times, but I think it's like bad juju. I don't know. But yeah, she is amazing, and I hope she sees Ashley, because Ashley's just gonna be like, whoa. I'm so glad you like it. And I'm trying to think of, so like I feel like we have a few other kits that we're gonna be doing. The Valentine's Day kit, I feel like we're gonna push off until, I don't know, late November, December. The next one that we're gonna do, I think, should be the chocolate mousse. Okay, and that one has a lot of really nice elements. So that one has the tan, what are they? Are they considered flock or velvet filament ornaments? And then it has those chocolate-like ornaments. They look like they're glass, but they're shatterproof. But they also have like this kind of like swirl texture to them. And then the ribbons with them were just gorgeous. So one of the ribbons, and I know I've gone through it, so I know I've showed it at some point, but on the ribbon roll, it looks nice. But if you actually see it used, like I saw it in the showroom, it is really, really nice. And it picks up a lot of different colors. I feel like it was paired with like something animal print, but it picks up on golds, bronzes, browns. It's really, really pretty. The chocolate one, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like it. I don't know where the end of my wire went. So yesterday I went to, I'll just tell you stupid stories about what I've been doing lately between Facebook Marketplace and now Panera. So I went to Panera. I haven't been there in at least a year. And so I ordered and I was like, oh, like, and I'll take this too. Like I ordered a salad and then I'm like, oh, I forgot they have that squash soup. I'll get one of those. And like in the drive-thru, I'm like, I'm really sorry. I haven't looked at the menu in a while. Then I ordered an iced tea. And as I was driving away, I then saw on the menu that they have hibiscus iced tea, which I forgot how much I love it. So when I got to the window, I told my parents this, they were horrified. I knew that my iced tea was already made, but I really wanted the hibiscus one. So I hardcore flirted with somebody who had the same hair as Wolverine. And it's not a proud moment, But honestly, it was worth it because when I had my hibiscus iced tea, I was like, I don't care. I do not care. I needed that iced tea, and I did not want to I didn't want to leave without it. I would have regretted it. I'm like, I'm just gonna flirt with Wolverine. I mean, only the hair, not like the rest of like Hugh Jackman, just the hair and like these big sideburns. That's how much I wanted hibiscus iced tea. Not one of my prouder moments. It kind of reminds me of when I was like super pregnant, like super, super pregnant, and I had whatever toxemia. So I was like not only pregnant, but I was like swollen and all this stuff. And I remember driving by like people who were, I don't know, like serving time or whatever, like prisoners that were like cleaning up trash on the side of the road. And one of them waved to me and I waved back. It's like, I was like, oh my God, like I was just so flattered at that point in my pregnant, bloated state that I was like, hey, let me write you in jail. Let me do that. So yes, yesterday was another one of those lower moments. I know, Amber, I know I could have, but I wouldn't have. I would have just driven off with it and I would have just like fixated on it all day because I'm like, and I did tell him. I said, oh, if you already made it, forget it. And he was like, no, it's all right. He's like, I can see you're a middle-aged woman who's desperate for a iced tea. He probably was thinking that. And still, I'd be okay with it. I would still accept that iced tea. I know. This is what happens when I'm like left to my own devices. I'm just ridiculous. But God, was that iced tea good. Yep. I know, guys. The more you know about me, probably the less you want to know. All right, so just putting in, we've got 3 of these snowball hydrangea. I feel like I don't want to cover up my berries, so I want to just kind of strategically place these so we're seeing all of our elements. Oh, I do love this. I love the blue, and I love that, like, I don't know if you can see it. All my fingers are covered in glue, but it's got like just this little like green tinge on it that is like exactly like the berries, and it matches the greenery so well. I'm glad you understand, Kim. Like, Amber wants me to go back and get another one. Like, I wouldn't do that. I would be embarrassed if I went back to the drive-thru. Am I embarrassed to flirt with Wolverine to switch up my drink? I should be. But apparently I'm not embarrassed enough because I'm telling you guys about it. Day in the life. Amber, we are very much alike. And hold on one sec, sis, because I'm going to show you something. And I'm only going to show you so that you're jealous. All right, Amber. I want to make sure you see this. This is one of those pens that you were talking about as I show you my completely glue-covered hands. Yes, you were talking about this pen the other day, and I have one. And not only do I have it, but it's in pastel colors. So, hate to brag, but got this at Rite Aid before they closed, and I love it. I love it. But yes, you and I like all the same things. So I'm like, we're definitely from the same like generation of like Trapper Keepers, Lisa Frank, sticker clubs, like all of those things. Like I can definitely tell we have that connection. All right, guys, so here is our arrangement. Okay, so again, I should have put more greenery in the kit. I'm gonna blame Tiffany, even though she had nothing to do with it. I'm just gonna pass that on to somebody because Amber knows I don't like to take responsibility. Let's see, feel the same way. Not about the drink. Okay, fine. You would have gone back. I'm probably not gonna go back there for another year. Like, it was my one shot, you know, like Hamilton, you got the one shot, gotta take your shot, and I did. I I shot my shot at Wolverine, and I got my iced tea. But I can tell you, when I said that, my parents like just randomly asked me if I want to go to breakfast today, and I went. And when I told them, my dad just shook his head, like he was like, "Yeah, I'm so not, I'm so not proud of you." All right, so here is our piece. Okay, it does have an airy factor, and let me see, Kim, if I'm a liar. Okay, so, okay, well, let's see. 12. This is the worst roller to use this on. 12. Okay, it's about 14 inches high. And then it is, see, 14 inches wide. It's like perfectly rounded. And I think this is a 6-inch container. I mean, and you can really build these up, or you can make them compact. You know, there's no wrong way to do it. It's a matter of like what space you're making it for. You know, sometimes people they just want it for a coffee table, or they want it something that's going to sit on their kitchen island, but it's not going to occupy too much space. You know, things like that. But what I was thinking is, if, say, you wanted to winterize it, there's a couple things you could do. Like, you could take something flocked, okay? And I don't know, maybe you wouldn't want these hydrangea in, like, because then you could keep it like ice blue, but you could do something flocked. Or you could do something glam. Okay, and this is from TMI Gifts. This is from Allstate Floral, which is amazing. But, like, you could also, like, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Steve is giving me the eye. But yeah, like, how pretty would something like this also look? So maybe if, like, you didn't glue it in, but you had it, you know, here, and you kind of like changed it season to season. So you got the icy, wintry like vibes from it. And then when winter's over, you know, you just pull it, and now you have your year-round design. Yeah, I like the airiness, because sometimes that's something that I just get carried away with, and then I kind of like lose it. So that is this kit. And I have to set, if I was selling this, or when I do, I would probably put a piece of felt under this, just because of like that noise factor. Maybe I won't, but sometimes with things like that I do. So one of the upcoming kits, and I don't have a date for it yet, it's going to be a grapevine wreath. Okay, it's not going to have a bow. I've just noticed this year I've had much higher responses to things that don't have the bows and the signs. You know, I think everything comes in waves, and, you know, different trends and all that stuff. And I feel like, at least, you know, with my customers, it's been more of like the natural look. So I've used these roses, or these peonies, before. Okay, the quality on them is phenomenal. Okay, so they kind of look almost like dried, almost like a little antique-y. But then they also have these berries that are really, really nice. Okay, they have these pieces of eucalyptus. So this isn't the entire kit. I just wanted to pull some of the colors just to show you. So we're gonna pair it with something that is dark. Okay, it gives it that moody feel. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's nice to be moody. And then we're also gonna just have like a contrast. So we're gonna have, I think it's another 3 of these berry stems. So this is gonna have like a mix of that light and dark. And I think when you're working with designs like that, you know, it just adds a lot of visual interest, because it's not just like one flat note. Again, it's gonna make you really look at it. And so if you're somebody who is newer to designing and you don't know, you know, what pairs with what, when you get a bush like this, it's gonna kind of like take you down that path. Okay, so, you know, it has some lighter pieces of eucalyptus, it has the berries, so it's showing you what elements are gonna pair well with it. So if you say wanted to get more than just what's in this bush, you could, you know, again, just kind of like replicate and shop for the other items. But there is a lot in here. Okay, so I'm thinking this will be for November because it's kind of got the whole cranberry vibe to it. And again, it's gonna be on an 18-inch grapevine base, no bow. It's just gonna be very natural looking, but it's going to be a beautiful design, in my humble opinion. Yes, okay, Burgundy Elegance kit. Diane, if you have the weight for my machine, I may have to propose. Don't tell your husband. I know all the machines have different numbers, so I don't know, but I mean, it really is silly that I've had it for so long and I have not used it. And then I know I make everybody sit there while I go and I wire everything. Rustic Valentines. I love that. I think that's fantastic. I think, and even, like if you wanted to take this and put it with like a burnt orange for, the Thanksgiving season, I like to go into Etsy and type in the search bar, and you just start it off with wreaths, and usually it says wreaths for front door, and then you kind of like hit the space bar so it goes one step further. And when I did it the other day, it was looking for Thanksgiving wreaths. And I'm like, okay, I hope we celebrate Thanksgiving because people, it seems like the trend is just once fall comes, it's all Halloween and we like skip how beautiful fall is. Like right now here in New Hampshire, it's like the trees are all turning, they're orange, they're red. It's like, it's beautiful. I don't really want to put a 10-foot skeleton up right now like my brother does. He's got Halloween all over his front yard. But for me, I think one of the special things about living in this area is like you get to see and enjoy everything, and I don't really want to rush it. So I could see a lot of different ways of using this, but yes, I think for a very like a sophisticated Valentine's Day thing, Kim, like you're saying, I think that would work really, really well. So yes. All right, yes, Diane, message me and I'll take a picture of whatever that little plate thing is. I don't know how many variations there are of the machine, but I would gladly buy that off of you because the struggle has been real and I apparently can't fill out a form or pay for an additional iced tea. All right, guys. Well, thank you. I know that a bunch of us have been like online for a long time today, and I'm sure people are looking for a little like less stimulation. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I will be, well, I don't know what my schedule is, but I will be scheduling the next TMI Gifts kit, so I will keep you guys posted, okay? All right, thanks guys so much. Thanks, Tiffany, as always. You're the best, and I'll see you guys soon.